Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be for players and GMs alike. Have you ever wanted your character's image to reflect the signs of battle or effects that they have on it? Or did you watch my last video on the token image rule element in Foundry with Pathfinder 2nd Edition and wonder how I created this character here? Well, guess what? In today's video, I'm going to show you just that, using the Tokenizer module and how simple it can be. So what are we waiting for? Let's go. So I pulled up Foundry, loaded into my world, and I have Tokenizer activated, and now we have our character. Look familiar? We're going to open up the sheet, and we're going to go into Tokenizer. As a reminder, I have Tokenizer settings set up to where it doesn't automatically add the ring or the color image. You can modify those settings. But we're starting with our base token. We already created it with the art and the background and the ring. So what I did was I wanted something to represent when they went into a flame stance, or when they went into inner upheaval, or when they used their crimson shroud. All three of those effects could happen at the same time or different times. So I just wanted a way to showcase and remind me also that I had those effects active. So as I started to use Tokenizer, I was playing around and I realized, hey, some of these frames, I could use images, but for simplicity's sake, I decided that I could use some of these frames, and using the different masking tools, I could get the effect I was looking for. I'll show you how. So again, you could use any art, but for this, I used frames. And I have the token frame module activated as well. And some of these I've imported myself. But the flame stance, that's an easy one. Fire. You can do this with your token above or below. I like to have my token above for these types of effects because I want them to be kind of floating around the ring. So you unlock the ring, use the mouse wheel to scroll in and out, right click and hold. Left click and hold to move it around as well. I don't want any space in between the ring and the fire as much as possible. Right there, I like that. Now that's not what it's going to look like when it's all said and done. I'm going to lock the ring again so I don't accidentally move it. And now I'm going into the mask feature. First thing we want to do is we want to just erase everything that's here. And then I just want to mask, use the mouse wheel to change the size, what I don't want to show up on my token. So my token's about halfway up. And so I don't want this. It's about, I always like to kind of put them on an angle here. There we go. Turn the mask on. Pretty good. I see on the right hand side, I could come up a little higher. So I'm gonna then just erase some of this mask and come back. Yeah. For demonstration purposes, you could fine tune this and really get it to blend and bleed in there. But that's exactly what we're trying to do. That's the first one. Pretty simple, right? Again, you can do this layering and masking with any type of image, but I'm just using frames. So again, inner upheaval, that's another one. I found a pretty cool frame that I could modify to give me the effect I'm looking for inner upheaval, which is this one. I'm going to turn off the fire effect right now, just close the eye. And again, I like them to be behind. See that? See how it's behind? It just gives it that oomph. But for me, I wanted them to be stacking. So if I had the fire and inner upheaval, I couldn't see it. So inner upheaval is going to just be the top half. I'm going to move it around, unlock it, move it around so I can get some of this glow or aura up at the top. Yeah, that works. Same practice. Go into the mask. I'm going to erase everything. Fresh canvas, and now I'm just going to mask out what I don't want. Something like that. A little trial and error. Turn mask 1 on. There we go. I get a little bit on the left-hand side here. Let's just cover that up. Whoops. Sometimes Tokenizer. There we go. Pretty good. Turn that on. Turn that on. That's what they look like layered together. All right, let's show you one more. Turn this off. Turn this off. Now the Crimson Shroud. Just a red mist in a way. Again, I just found a token that just worked perfectly for this. Is this one. Takes a moment for it to load. All right. This one has a kind of funny mask on it already built in. I definitely want this to be on top. So, and since the way the image is, I just kind of want it to be on its left side, something like this. Okay, great. I know it doesn't look like it yet. And go into the mask. And this time, since it's on top, we are going to, again, mask out what we don't want. Start with that. Okay, see what I had to do there? This one had mask 0 on it. Since it was on top, it defaults to that. I want to take this. I don't want my base token to have any mask. I want the mask to be controlled by the frame that I'm trying to colorize here. Okay, we move it like this. This one's going to take a whole lot more work, so I will kind of not bore you with that detail. That's good enough for demonstration purposes. Great. Now I have these layers to signify what's happening. Do I have the Crimson Shroud active? Do I have the Flame Stands active? Do I have Inner Upheaval active? Now, how do I get them individually? Well, you just got to map it out. You need one of each, and then you need one flame with one Inner Upheaval, one flame with one Crimson Shroud. You got to go back to kind of middle school or high school math, depending on how many you did. In my demonstration, I had 4, so I really had to extrapolate that out. I think, 16 times to get the different layer combinations. But what you can do is, we got one with all of them. Come down here and download. And then we have, we'll just do one with the Crimson Shroud. One of each, right? Download. Turn Crimson Shroud off. Inner Upheaval. Download. I found it best to just write this down on a piece of paper so I make sure I have all the copies. Because what Tokenizer doesn't do that a normal Photoshop program will, it saves your layers. Once I hit apply, those layers get merged into one and I can never go back to this. Believe me, I know from some trial and error of creating this and figuring this out. So now I have one of each of single and one with all 3. So now I need the combinations of 2. So I'm going to turn Fire and Inner Upheaval on, download. Then I'm going to turn Upheaval off and Crimson Shroud, download. Then I'm going to turn Fire off and Inner Upheaval, and then download. And that's it, folks. It's that simple and that easy to use Tokenizer within Foundry to create a set of images that can showcase and show off your character's changes during battle. But don't forget to check out my token image rule element video to show you how you can actually automatically have your token image change when those effects happen and get applied to your character's token in Foundry. So if you found this video useful or helpful, please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more Pathfinder and Foundry content, and let me know in the comments how you're going to use this technique in your next game. Thanks for coming, and I'll see you on the open road.